Hello traders, Nick Shaheen here looking at Xpeng. XPEV is the ticker, XPEV. Exciting stock. I'm not going to discuss fundamentals because I don't know them very well, but I do know charts and I can help with that. So let's look at it. Visually, this is a daily chart. Clearly it's a young it's young public, and looking at it you can visually split it in half. So if you believe in Fibonacci, they're fighting over the 50% line, basically. There's a lot to say, but we probably have to zero in on less than 1 day candles. It's usually easy to look at the daily, but it's usually missing some information. So let's look at 120. By the way, I'm not recommending anything. I'm agnostic. I don't have a trade. I did trade it from the long side and won, and it was a purely technical bet. I can't remember exactly when we did that, but I did share it in the chat room, which there's a link to that down below. The link goes to PayPal, but the transaction is for $0. This is purely to protect the community, and there I have 240 people that I don't want to expose to somebody who doesn't want to tell me who they are. All right, so exactly where the cursor is a pivotal point. Clearly, right? That's where it bounced, and it's not a coincidence. The zone between 40 and here is a base for this leg of a rally, and it failed right here. They came back and took it over, tested it for footing twice, tested it, and then failed a little bit, and here they are. So for the same reason this bottom hole held, this resistance is the opportunity. You can see my dashed line. That's my alert. So I do homework offline, like this video, and then I set alerts. I'll set another alert right here to say pay attention here. Potential resistance if I get long. This is homework I do, so I don't have to watch the chart. This, if I want it to get long, I'll put an alert saying catch the falling knife with a question mark, because I don't know the conditions under which that will happen. Maybe the whole market is falling, then this one's going to hold up. Not going to hold up. And below here, I do not want to be long, because then there is a scenario, I'll say stop. There is a scenario that could be unfolding. So now, whether you believe in technicals or not, that's up to you. If you don't believe in technicals, you're throwing away a tool, a very valuable tool. Most trading is done by machines, so the technicals are what's going on, whether you like it or not. This is not pretty. Arguably, that is already ongoing. How do you negate that? Is by breaking out. Until then, this is resistance. So this is the opportunity, but it's not just opportunity, it's a lifeline to stop the bleeding here. Luckily, so don't say I'm calling it to 24. All right, I know I'm not going to cuss. I know there's somebody that's going to go in there, effing moron, called it to 24. I'm telling you what the technicals are saying, that this is a potential scenario. But I'm also telling you, I started by saying the opportunity, right? This orange line. And that is what you can do. It's actually this orange line right here. So for the same reason this head and shoulders has triggered, you could undo it by doing your own inverse head and shoulders. All this is nothing but a battle over a neckline. Call it what you want. Trust me, I am not a technical analyst. I just figured this stuff out. Believe me, it works very reliably. I don't care what they call it. I eyeball the levels and I draw them, and then I have friends who are expert harmonics people, and we come to almost exactly the same values almost every time. It's not rocket science. It's just observation. This is a neckline. They came and they failed. 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 If they eventually come up above it and test it for footing, the bears are done. They have no more oomph. Maybe one last effort here and then here. So that's how you do it. And if you break above that, the opportunity is about this big eyeball. So you can recover 60, 56, 60. You can avoid this. Step one is this line. So let's unclutter and tell you what step one is. If you're a bull and you have any influence with friends, go out and buy, buy, buy. No, this is the important line for the bulls. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This is pretty good. This whole thing, you know, ascending. The bulls are in charge. This is part of the price action. So I'm not saying it's going down here, but it could be that it's triggered that. You could avoid it. The stock could avoid it if they trigger this, because for the same reason this is dangerous, this is exciting. So it can go either way as far as the price action based on what's going on with the market. That's what I'm trying to say. Not all the opportunity lives inside this stock because it doesn't trade in the vacuum. So even if it's got a great opportunity and one day it's like right here and something happens, I don't want to say it, something happens in the world that's absolutely terrible and the stock market goes whoop, you think this one's going to break out? No, it doesn't trade in a vacuum. So the opportunity could be awesome, but I have to consider the overall conditions. We are precarious. I've looked at the stock market a long time. So the S&P, actually the IWM, because this represents XPEV better than the S&P. This is not normal, okay? And I'm not bearish, trust me. I've been bullish through all of this. I do write 2 newsletters a day. You can join it and find out that I'm actually saying buy this, buy that, not short this and short that. I am short a few things now, just as a balance. I'm looking for the opportunities. There's total opportunity for this to happen. It's not a disaster, but that's step 1 of a potential disaster. So 7 or 8%, not a big deal. I mean, we just rose 6% last week, 5 to 6%. Coming back to here would be the best opportunity, 160. We were there just a couple of months ago, and that would be a 20% correction. You think the narrative on CNBC is going to be what to buy? No, they'll be where's the floor? We were at 66 SPY in 2008 or 9, I forget. And I guarantee you, the experts were not saying buy this and buy that. They were saying look at the disaster here and look at the disaster there. What I'm saying here is XPEV has an opportunity to trade out of its debacle. You don't want to admit it's a debacle, that's up to you. But a drop of 40% is a debacle. Overall, it rallied this much, that's unnatural. It gave back half of it, it's natural. It's now trying to claim some of it back in a normal way. These 3 candles are not normal. They can reclaim them in a normal way. Step 1 is right there, 47.8, 37.9, let's call it 48. This orange line is where they traded it the most. This is fact, I'm not making it up. This right there is where this is automatically drawn. I didn't draw it. It moves as I change the period I'm looking at. So if I wanted to ignore this junk down here, I'll zoom in and the line will adjust a little bit. Yep, it's still right around the same place. What does that tell me? This is called the volume profile. So if you want to educate yourself on technical analysis, in fact, not technical analysis, just price action. You've heard the term price is truth. Okay, so you've seen these volume bars down here. All these tell me is when something happened. On that day, a whole bunch of people bought it and sold it. On that day, a whole bunch of people bought it and sold it. This information is the same, only they tell me at what level. This is smart. This is meaningless to me. These are smart. This is called the volume profile. And right now, the busiest place is 40, whatever that number is, 45-ish. And it has a number above it, which is, you know, it's trying to slice through 2 thick areas of action. So this is the opportunity there. I would love to read your notes below. Keep it clean. We have some kids that watch the show. No, we don't. It's nothing but traders and investors. I've had a few trolls before. I've had a few upset people before, but I started with a positive note. I also told you I was long it, and I got out of it. I didn't time the exit properly, but it was a good win. So I didn't look back and say I missed it. I would re-engage long if they show me something this week. But then again, it has to trade within the whole stock market. All right. Hopefully this helps out. And if you like it, actually subscribe to the channel if you're not already. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. And put the alert, because I don't always make the videos public. Maybe, I don't know how the alert works actually after that. But anyway, or join the group. We chat about this stuff all day, all tickers, all styles. I've got futures traders, options traders, equity traders, even some currency traders, and people who just want to learn. And the ideas come from everybody, not just from me. I merely moderate in there. All right, Nick signing out.